If we can just make it to Thursday. Dumelang bakgaetsho, I'm Tebogo Tinti, and welcome to it. You know, sometimes we say, if I can just make it to Thursday. Well, for you, Thursday can be something completely different to mine. For you, it can be, if I can just make it to the end of the week or the beginning of the week. If I can just make it to the end of the month or the beginning of the month. If I can just make it to the end of an era or the beginning of an era. It's totally different things for us. If sometimes, but we often do say, if I can just make it to that thing. And lo and behold, we do, because we serve a loyal and faithful God. Sometimes even the end of a thing or the beginning of a thing doesn't come packaged the way that we would have liked it, because we can plan, but He has the final say. And sometimes a no is definitely not a it's not going to happen. Sometimes a no is simply a redirection to something better. So we always have to be tuned into what it is that God wants for us and what He wants us to do with our lives, and find our true purpose as to why we are here on earth. So if anything, 2025 was a year of learning. I just feel as though we learned quite a lot. We learned new ways of doing things. We learned new words. We learned new things. We learned that we can have as a country not only just one national shutdown but two. We learned quite a number of things. We also learned just how to get through things and how to navigate our lives, and just how to make better choices and better decisions for our lives. And I just feel as though 2026 is a year of implementing. Ga gona There is no other book or no other podcast or anything else that I can say that you have not heard before. So that's why, Gary, at this point, we know all we need to know. We just need to start implementing. And to start implementing, we need courage, we need will, we need commitment. And that commitment is to ourselves. We need to commit to ourselves. We need to commit to our own dreams and goals. We need to commit to our own passion. We need to commit to who we are and who we want to be. So I want to share a bit of a story. I mean, we are just in the middle of the first month of the year. This is the first half of the first month of the year, and already I pleasantly surprised myself. So what had happened was, um I was triggered. Something happened. I don't want to get into too much details about that, because it's still very personal, and it still involves other people. Maybe you'll read about it in my next book, because you know how I do. So if you read my first book, then you know that when I tell a story, I tell it in its entirety. So I digress. So I was triggered. Something happened and I was triggered. Every single one of my triggers came out to play. And I'm not kidding when I say every single one. Or maybe if I say the foundation of all of my triggers, the reason why I have so many issues was like came to play. And the person behind why I have so many issues came to play. And I took a beat and I thought about it. I had a number of options. Maybe option one would have been, let it go, don't say anything, let it eat me inside, and it'll go away. Option two, pretend as if it never happened. Completely ignore it, ignore my feelings, ignore everything that has to do with the situation. Option three, face it head on. I don't like confrontation, but that was another option. Face it head on, confront the person, share how you feel, share how what they did looks a certain way. Just share. And I was like, yeah, because one thing, the reason why I don't like confrontation is that you have to sit there and tell someone exactly what they did, and you are telling them what they know because they were there when they did it. So that's why I don't like it. O ka re yaanong ke sematlanyana because I'm there telling you exactly what I did, and then the person will still have the gall to say, what did I do? Like, you were there when you did it. And one thing that I've come to learn, especially in 2025, I've learned that people are grown and people know exactly what they're doing. And if they would not like you to do that thing to them because it would hurt them, they do it to you. And they know that the thing that they're doing to you hurts you. They know it, but they continue to do it. And then someone will come back and say, and ask, what did I do? Or, I didn't mean to hurt you. Well, then what did you mean to do, Felicia? Like, what did you mean to do? If you didn't mean to hurt me, when you know that should that thing be done to you would hurt you, what makes you think it would not hurt me? What makes my feelings so out of tune that I would not feel the thing that would hurt you when you do it to me if I did it to you? Understand? That's why I don't like confrontation, because you're sitting there telling someone something that they did and something that they know they did. I find it very stupendous. But nevertheless, I confronted this person. I confronted this person and I told them exactly how I felt. And I told them exactly what I thought. And I told them exactly how I would not like to see that thing happen ever again. And in that moment, I felt like not only was I standing up for myself in the present tense, as grown as I am, but I was also standing up for the little girl in me that has had to shut up so many times when things were done to her and she couldn't say anything. And that felt like a hug to my soul. I felt like I was hugging a young me. Was it easy? Of course not. Of course it wasn't easy. It is the hardest thing I've had to do this year. It's only the first half of the first month of the year, but I already feel like I've already done the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Not ever, but this year. So from here on out, it's gonna be smooth sailing. It has got to be smooth sailing because I've already done my hard, you know. If I was on the hardest, on the strongest soldiers list for Smagat, I've already done my duty. So now I'm ready to sail smoothly, to smooth sail. So after I did that, and then it came to me, Hore, I didn't just do it for me and my younger self. I also did it for those who are attached to me, for those who are coming after me, for those who also were a part of a situation. And then for the first time, an apology that I didn't expect, an apology that I have ever given up on receiving, an apology I accepted without receiving, an apology that I didn't see coming, pretty much, because this person is very hard-headed. They don't apologize for nothing and for no reason, and especially sincerely. No. And it happened and I said, wait, what? They could have done it for two reasons: to shut me all the way up, to get it out the way, and just to move on with their lives. They didn't have to mean it, but the fact that they said it validated me, and it gave me a validation that I didn't know that I actually wanted and needed. And I'm here to say sometimes things happen, and instead of letting it eat you up, say it out loud, because we heal out loud, baby. I heal out loud. And if you do me wrong, you are going to know that you've done me wrong. You are going to know how it made me feel. You are going to understand why I will move differently moving forward, because I will let you know. And that is what is good for me. That is what is healthy for me. That is a part of me putting my boundaries into place to say my head is not on an open dance floor for you.